All right, let's talk about getting rich. Think of it like a video game, okay? There are basically two settings you can play on. There's hard mode, and then there's easy mode.
Society loves to talk about hard mode. It's this romantic story, right? The struggling artist, the passionate entrepreneur selling handmade candles, fighting for every single dollar. But here's the thing, you're not just selling a candle. You're fighting against someone's rent payment, their student loans, all their financial stress. It's a total uphill battle.
But then there's easy mode. It sounds, well, a lot less sexy, and nobody really talks about it. But listen, this is the secret sauce. It's hands down the most direct path to actually building serious wealth.
So what's the big secret? What's the one rule for playing on easy mode? It's super simple, and it's the core idea of everything we're talking about today. Here it is, help other people make money. That's it. That's the entire game.
Okay, so why is that one idea so incredibly powerful? Well, to really get it, we need to break down the huge difference between selling to businesses, what we call B2B, and selling to regular people, or B2C.
Picture the whole economy as this massive pyramid. Down at the bottom, you've got all of us, the consumers. That's where the value gets generated. But the money, it's always flowing up, to the top, where the businesses are. So if you're trying to sell stuff at the bottom, you're fighting for scraps where money is the tightest.
Let me give you a huge example. Think about Amazon. What do you think of? Buying books, toothbrushes, basically everything, right? That's what we see. That's their business-to-consumer side.
But here's the crazy part. For a huge chunk of its history, Amazon was barely making any profit selling us all that stuff. So where does the real money come from? Amazon Web Services, or AWS. They sell the digital plumbing, the cloud infrastructure, to other massive companies like Netflix. They're helping Netflix make money. See? That's easy mode in action. All right, how about another one? Google. What is Google? It's a search engine, right? Gmail, Google Maps. And yeah, you're not wrong. That's what it does for us.
But that's not its business model. That's not how it makes its billions. At its core, Google is a giant advertising machine. Its real business is helping other businesses make money by connecting them with customers. They sell customers. My own company pays a ton of money to Google for ads. Why? Because those ads make us more money than we spend. Google is playing on easy mode.
And look, this isn't just some weird thing a couple of tech giants do. This B2B idea, it's the engine of the entire economy. Think about the biggest names out there. Wall Street, right? JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs. Big tech companies like Salesforce, giant consulting firms, powerful law firms. What do they all have in common? They make their fortunes helping other businesses make more money.
Okay, so the secret's out. But so what? How do you actually use this? Let's get into the playbook. I've got 4 core principles you can apply, and it doesn't matter if you have a 9-to-5, a side hustle, or your own company.
First up, and this one is absolutely crucial, tie what you do directly to revenue. You need to be able to draw a straight, undeniable line from your work to the money your company or your client is making.
So I want you to do a little thought experiment right now. Can you put a dollar sign on the value you create? Seriously, if you're in customer support, you're not just answering tickets. You are preventing customers from leaving, which saves the company X amount of dollars. If you're a salesperson, that's easy. You're closing deals. The closer you get to putting a number on your impact, the more leverage you have.
All right, principle number 2. This is going to sound so obvious, it's almost silly, but you would be shocked at how many people forget this. Ready? Sell to people who have money.
And this just shows the difference perfectly. Trying to sell a $50 widget to a regular person, that's a whole emotional drama. You're fighting their budget, their anxiety, but selling a $50,000 service to a business that pulls in millions, that's a completely different conversation. It's not emotional, it's just math. They're not asking, can we afford this? They're asking, will this make us more than $50,000? If the answer is yes, it's a no-brainer. It's just a line on a spreadsheet.
Okay, number 3. This one requires a major mental shift, so listen closely. You have to stop trading your time for money. As soon as you charge by the hour, you've put a hard ceiling on how much you can ever earn. There are only so many hours in a day, right?
So instead, you need a price based on value. Here's a great rule of thumb to remember. Aim to charge about 1/10 of the value you create. Think about it. If you can walk into a business and say, my service will make you an extra $100,000, and you charge them $10,000, that is the easiest yes they will ever give. They make $90,000, and you get paid based on your impact, not your hours.
And that leads us right into our last principle, number 4. You have to build skills that are close to the money. This might be a tough pill to swallow, but the market just doesn't value all skills the same. It's not fair, but it's true.
Just look at this table. On one side, you have skills like graphic design or admin support. Super important skills, right? But they're often a few steps away from where the money actually comes in. Now look at the other side. Sales, copywriting that makes people buy, client acquisition. Those skills are right there at the cash register, and because of that, they command way more money.
All right, let's pull all these threads together. Let's talk about what this means for you and what you do every day.
I'm going to share a pretty uncomfortable truth here, something I really wish I understood earlier in my career. If you have a job, any job, you are already playing this game. You are already helping someone else get rich. That's what a job is. Your boss hired you for one reason, because the value you create is greater than the salary they pay you.
And that gap, the space between the value you produce and the paycheck you take home, that, my friends, is the company's profit margin. And for most of us, that gap is way bigger than we think.
So remember, playing on easy mode isn't about working more hours. It's about changing your position on the board. So here's what you do. First, focus on adding more quantifiable value. Second, you have to make that value impossible to ignore. Show your work, show the numbers, draw that straight line to their revenue. And once you've done that, you can walk in and confidently ask for a bigger piece of the pie you're already helping to bake.
So I'll just leave you with this one final thought. You're already helping someone get rich. That's a fact. The only real question is, why isn't it you?